Well, hello out there, and welcome to Two Dudes on the Radio.
Where the world is crazy, but luckily, so are we.
My name is Eddie Boyce.
And I'm Shaner.
Woo!
Flawless.
Flawless.
We're down. We got this.
Down. Is this? Yeah, this is episode 11.
Episode 11 of season 2.
Season 2. We only have like 2 more. Wait, hold on. How many more episodes we got? Let's
2
count
more
the weeks.
officials.
3.
3.
No, 2. 2 more.
2 more
Next
official
Thursday
episodes.
and then the one after, and then that's it.
I'm sure we'll do
folks.
stuff after we graduate,
I would like to.
Yeah, it's not
I
like
would
we're
like
not going
to.
to ever see each other. I live around here. You live around here.
I'm actually moving in August.
Thanks for springing that on me now. Wow.
Yeah, I'm not going to be around forever.
Fine, neither am I.
So never mind. I guess I'm sure we'll do
we can
something.
even do over a recorded call.
Yeah, but
Sure.
those never sound good. We could do something. We could do Zoom. Sometimes it's good.
Yeah.
Zoom. We'll figure it out.
We can figure this out.
We'll figure it out. But
Yeah.
so for now we're here in the now. Episode
let's just be here in the now.
crap, this is 11? Yeah, episode 11.
Yeah, because we just released 10.
Woo! Woo woo. Which if you haven't already, go listen to it. I actually released it yesterday because I kind of forgot.
Yeah, if you're listening to this on YouTube, pause it. If you haven't listened to episode 10, go listen to it. Then come back.
And pro move, so that you can listen to more things, hit the little gear button for the settings, hit playback speed, and hit that bad boy in 1.5.
Or, go all out, too.
I can sometimes do 2. It depends
listen
on
to us like
who's
Alvin and the
talking.
Chipmunks.
You can do 2. It's actually not bad. I do
10.
it for work sometimes.
Go 10.
It only goes up to 2.
Well, that's nonsense. It should go up to 10.
Okay.
For the speed listener.
Anyways, if you're already not, or if you're not already, follow us on Instagram and Facebook, where you just get to learn about things.
One
you get
simple click. It doesn't affect you at all.
Not really, no, and you get more.
All you're going to see is 1 or 2 updates a week. We don't spam
Pretty
you.
much. We don't spam. That's
Yeah.
true. We don't.
We're simple content creators.
Very simple.
We post and occasionally we'll ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
It's not hard. It's not like we're going to spam your page with hit the like button and stuff like that. We do that on the air.
I was gonna say you do it all the time in the air. You're
Yeah,
like
on the air.
feedback. We want feedback.
We want
that's
feedback.
pretty much
The air is fine because you can just skip past that if you don't want to hear it. Though
That's
you
true.
should give us feedback. But
They're skipping this segment right now, probably.
yeah, probably. But if you follow us on Instagram or Facebook, it doesn't cost you anything, and all we do is we give you updates,
and you give us some dopamine, and it makes us happy.
Yeah,
so
we like
it's
dopamine.
a win-win situation,
right? Serotonin, give it to us.
Is it serotonin? I thought it was dopamine.
No, I think dopamine's something else. Serotonin's the happy chemical.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Hold on, look it up.
I'm looking it up.
Anyways, on to our first segment of the show, Top 5 in the Hive. And this week we're taking it back.
Yeah.
For us and Shane, me and Shane, we're part of the. Wait, are we? No, not millennials. We're Gen Z, right?
I never can
I think
tell.
we're
Some
Gen
people
Z.
tell me one thing, some people tell me
We're
another.
not millennials.
I just exist,
I think
man.
we're on the line of Gen Z. We're just barely Gen Z, I think. Anyways.
Okay, so I think serotonin is the happiness one, but dopamine is the pleasure one. That's
Close
what
enough.
I'm reading.
Whatever. Close enough.
Serotonin's the big meme. That's why I said it.
Right. Okay. Anyways, no, you're right. I thought... Whatever. Throwing it back, our top 5... What did we say? Favorite YouTube videos?
Favorite YouTube videos.
Okay. I kind of upped my... I shouldn't say I changed it up a little bit.
You changed it up without telling me?
I shouldn't say I shouldn't. I didn't change it up. I organized mine differently as to which ones I would recommend the most. So that's how I organized mine, but they're all my favorites.
That's
I love
kind
these
of
videos.
what I did subconsciously. Because it's one of those, some videos you have, but to share them, you'd have to explain an entire thing.
Exactly.
So I got together some that can be watched independently, and I enjoy.
Oh, I have one of those on my list.
Well, what I mean independently is I don't have to explain
right.
if I pick something from a series, like maybe a cooking video, then I could say, I'd have to say I like this whole channel. But with these, I feel like I can just say, watch this video, and then you don't have to watch anymore. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah. That's a good idea. I didn't do that for my number 5, but that's fine. Shaner, you hit us with your number 5.
Number 5. It's a fun video. I've watched it probably twice because it's really long.
Wait, twice?
Well, twice because it's one of those things you have
It's
to.
my favorite video. Watch it twice.
Well, it's number 5 on the list, but the thing is, it's so long you have to dedicate a set amount of time to watching it
Yeah.
to really appreciate it, and that is the history of the entire world, I guess.
Oh my gosh, that's what
Isn't
the
that-
what's his name? Not Eric is. It's...
I don't remember his name, but he basically
Oh yeah.
he makes little doodles and stuff, and he explains the entire history of the world, I guess. And
Yeah.
he has lots of funny, vocabulary and sarcasm, and
Mm-hmm.
you do learn some stuff, I think, enough.
Mm-hmm.
But he makes jokes out of many things that are really funny to listen to. And it's I don't even remember how long the full video is. It's something like 20 minutes or something like that. So you can't just sit down.
20 minutes is long to you?
I mean, for a YouTube video, some of them. Like if you're sitting down watching,
I guess.
a documentary, but for most of the other things on here, 20 minutes can be long. I think it's even longer than that, though. I'll have to look it up. But it's a fun video to watch.
Oh yeah, you should definitely go see
There
it.
is some language in it, so if you don't like,
Yeah.
bad words, don't listen to it or watch it. But I think it's really worth it, at least watching once, even if you go, that wasn't that good. Just
Mhm.
watching once to say you did. I think it's a big meme out there.
Right.
If you've seen that meme.
It's a good meme.
I can't think of any. There's some good memes that come out of it and have kind of seeped
Mhm.
into meme culture. And you'll probably watch
Classic
it.
video.
You'll probably watch that video and go, wait a minute, I've seen a meme about that. So I highly recommend it. Learn something while getting entertained. You're number 5.
That's a good number 5. All right.
Thanks.
This is a very obscure video.
Oh boy.
It's called Metapod v Metapod by the Pokemon Professor. Have you seen it?
No, but I can
Oh.
imagine. Because...
Well, hold on. There's a lot that goes behind this. Okay, so the Pokemon Professor is pretty much for all intents and purposes, an R-rated channel where he pretends to be. This is Pokemon, by the way. If you don't know what Pokemon is, go Google.
This isn't
search.
going to make any sense.
This isn't going to make any sense.
I already know what probably it's going to be about because Metapod.
Well, yeah, you already got the meme. You know what I'm talking about. But anyways, so it's this guy pretending to be another professor,
Mm-hmm.
but it's pretty much like mixed with Pokemon are not strictly our content, but there's like a bunch of swearing and
Right.
comments, loose comments, and just stuff. It's a great channel if you're a Pokemon fan. 100% check this out if you don't mind some things.
Yeah.
It's not the worst thing I've heard of or seen, but great channel. So Metapod v Metapod. He does most of his videos are like a series, so like they're all
have to have
connected in
background, yeah.
somewhere. This one's pretty far in, so unless you really want to watch through all of the videos before, which you absolutely should. I love this video so much, but you could watch it without. It just won't be as funny or make as much sense, and you won't have the much hype going into it because there's like a build up to it.
You need
so
some background knowledge. Got it.
it's a great video, though. If you have the time, definitely go see it. Pokemon Professor is probably my favorite Pokemon YouTuber.
I'll have to look
of all
into it
time.
because
So good. Oh, you gotta watch it, man. It's so good.
I will definitely look into it.
Very underrated. So that's my number 5, Metapod v Metapod by the Pokemon Professor. Number 4, Shayna.
Number 4. This one's purely a funny thing.
Uh-huh.
I've watched it many, many times. It's one of those you can skip through to the funny part and just watch as many times as you please. The Exploding Whale. Have
What?
you seen this or
The
heard of it?
Exploding Whale.
Yeah, so it was a bit in history where this whale washed up on a beach. I don't remember where, I don't remember when, but it was probably like in the 70s, I think, or the 80s. And this whale washed up on a beach, and they did a newscast about it. And obviously,
Okay.
you're not going to just push that thing back into the ocean. It's a whale. It's a dead whale. It's
Right.
heavy. So some group of geniuses, I say that very sarcastically, decided the best way to deal with that is to blow it up.
What?
So they packed it. I'm probably packed it full of TNT, dynamite. And then people came out to watch it. It was an event. They broadcast it on the news. That's where this video comes from. And people came out to watch it because nobody thought about the repercussions of blowing up a whale carcass that's been
Yeah.
baking in the sun for a week.
Yeah.
So they blew it up. Well, the great thing is you can watch it, but like they recorded it blowing up. And the problem comes
Wow.
afterwards when not only is watching it blow up fun, that sounds sadistic, but no, it really is. The whale, huge whale carcass just detonating completely.
Huh.
But the problem came afterwards
Right.
when nobody thought to think about the fact that if you use dynamite, you're going to launch whale pieces into the air, and all the crowds surrounding
Oh, no.
are suddenly going to have hot chunks of like rotting rotting on the beach whale carcass raining down on them.
Yeah.
So there's a YouTube video out there of this news broadcast that you can watch and just watch it dead night and listen to them talk about it. Listen to them talk about the whale pieces just raining down on people and on people's cars too, because some of these didn't break up into small pieces.
Right.
Some of these were huge, heavy chunks of like blubber and stuff that had been in the sun for a week and started raining down on people, and it was like a disaster. So if you ever look up, just go to YouTube, type in the exploding whale. There's a million videos on it. So it's not really a specific video, but just the video of the exploding whale. Yeah, I'll have to show it to you. It's worth a watch.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
All right. My number 4 is The Gentleman Pirate by Internet Historian. Have you ever watched
Gentleman Pirate?
Yes. Have you heard of Internet Historian?
I may have bumped into it once or twice,
well,
but I can't recall off the top of my head.
His channel is pretty self-explanatory. He explains different events on the internet and he does different, like, not news segments, but like basically like I don't say covers, but basically he tells like a history of a specific event. But this one isn't internet at all. It's about pirate. Oh shoot, what's his name? Hold on. I can't believe I forgot this. I'm
Pirate
sorry.
Pete, Blackbeard, Davy Jones,
Stede Bonnet.
Okay.
If you don't know, Stede Bonnet, real life person. He basically was called the Gentleman Pirate because he didn't really stick to pirate codes.
Mm-hmm.
He was very gentlemanly.
Oh, how nice of him.
Yes, quite nice. And this is a real life story, but he puts an internet spin on it.
Ooh.
It's very nice. It's very fun.
An
It is like
spin on Gentlemanly Pirate.
and it's very just like lopsided, like Photoshop editing.
Oh yeah,
it's
that's
great.
the best kind of videos is when they're obviously bad.
Oh yeah, it's not even bad. Like it's good Photoshop editing.
Oh,
It's not,
okay.
but it is bad. Like you'll
Purposefully,
see what I mean.
Purposefully not perfect.
Yes, you'll see what I mean when we watch it. But it's very good. It's a pretty long video. I think it's like 40 minutes long. It might be even longer. It's pretty good though. Oh, sorry, it's Internet Historian Incognito Mode. It's his second channel that has it. But it's a really funny video, and you learn some history along the way.
I love learning about
It's
history
pretty
in
funny.
ways.
Informational entertainment, like us.
Oh,
So, yeah, definitely go check it out. The Gentleman Pirate, Internet Historian, Incognito Mode.
all right. So I'm about to hit you with my number 3. It's another, I think, unique one.
Yeah.
It's by a guy named Michael Reeves. I don't know if you've heard of Michael Reeves.
Yes, I do know that.
So he's kind of like, he's really smart. He's a younger guy, and he invents things. And one of my favorite videos
Oh, wait.
I've watched from him is the Roomba that screams when it bumps into stuff.
Oh.
Have you seen this?
I saw it in my recommendations. I was like, what is this?
Well
No.
worth a watch. So he invents this Roomba that has a thing in it, so when it bumps into a wall,
Mhm.
it will scream. Like he got voice recordings for it. So he's got like 3 modes for it, and he demonstrates it. Like it bumps into a chair and goes, why was I born? Or like just straight up screams in pain. So he jokes about it being like an empathetical link to your Roomba. And then he turns on, it also has like a mature mode where it'll like scream swears and stuff.
Oh, nice.
And he takes it to a local Target.
Oh, no.
And so he's doing interviews with people, like getting their feedback on it. So it's like driving around Target, bumping into stuff and screaming, and he's interviewing people, and while he's interviewing them, it's screaming in the background. And the idea of having a Roomba that screams when it bumps into stuff is hilarious.
Wow.
It's 11 minutes long, and you don't even need to watch. Like you can skip past the inventing process if you're not into the whole technical aspect of things, and get to the demonstrations because they are hilarious. They do a scene where they're pretending to eat dinner, and this Roomba's just puttering around and screaming like a madman whenever it like bumps into their chair, and he keeps making funny commentary on it, like, how would you be willing to accept this Roomba into your home? As it's like screaming behind them, and it's great.
Dang, I
highly
didn't realize he
recommend
was a funny guy. I thought he was just like a pseudo prankster channel.
it. No, it's funny to watch.
Interesting. Okay, I'll look
Yeah,
into it. I
it's
didn't
pretty
know
funny.
Reeves was actually smart.
Yeah, it's from what I've seen. Maybe
Okay.
I got duped and it was a prank, but I don't think it was.
Okay.
Because he showed the aspect of what he was doing.
Gotcha. Cool. All right.
Hit
That's
us
a good
with
one.
your number 3.
My number 3 is proving the Illuminati is real
Oh,
by
boy.
Nigga Higa. No, before I get canceled.
Wow.
Before I get canceled.
I'm leaving. I don't want to die.
He's Korean, I think. So like no, is he Japanese? I'm
Please tell me
sorry.
that's not
I
his
don't.
actual name.
He's that's his channel name. It's Nigga Higa. Nigga in Oriental language,
Say
I think it's
again.
Japanese, means something else. Like it's an actual
How
word. It's like
unfortunate.
of or what. Yeah, it's very unfortunate. But before I get canceled
Oh.
by you unassuming white people.
Yeah, I'm assuming white people.
So this is actually a relatively like famous video. It's got like 35 million views or something like that.
Wow, that's a lot of views.
It's pretty famous, but not everyone's heard it. And I would assume when you see a channel named Nigahiga, you'd probably stay away for some of you.
Might
so
just
fair enough.
be a little bit.
You should go check this out, however. Have you ever seen those videos that purposefully go out of the way to make connections?
I've done that myself as a
This
joke.
is this video, except it's done very beautifully and done
Okay,
with a
that
lot of
sounds
cool
really
YouTube
funny,
stuff.
actually.
Yeah. It's really good. I don't want to say anything else because like it's part of it's his brilliance, but it's him making random connections to prove that Illuminati's real.
I actually kind of want to watch.
It's really
that
cool.
now.
You should go watch it.
I
It's a
will.
great video. That's my number 3. Proving the Illuminati is real by Nigahiga.
Okay, my number 2. These last two to me are two videos that are very special. Not special to me, but videos I love and will recommend to anyone anytime. Now, my number 2 is the Wilkins coffee commercials. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with these. They became a meme in like the last few years. So what it was Jim Henson. You know Jim Henson, the
Jim
guy who
Henson.
invented the Muppets.
I
So
like Jim
before
Henson.
he went on to make the Muppets, he worked for a company called Wilkins Coffee, and they're still out today. You know, you can still buy
Okay.
Wilkins products. And these commercials they've got two puppets. One looks like a precursor to Kermit the Frog, and the other one just looks like a random blob with a mouth and a face. They're really funny. And the basic premise of the commercials is the Kermit-looking one likes Wilkins coffee, and the
Okay.
blob-looking one doesn't like Wilkins coffee.
Okay.
And the Kermit one is always trying to convince him to drink Wilkins coffee. And when the other one refuses, something bad normally happens. And
Oh.
these range from simple, like, you know, it could go like, you want to drink Wilkins coffee? No, I don't like Wilkins coffee. And he gets bonked on the head by a stick, like a stick. It could range from that till there's one, it's my favorite one. And they get dark, too. That's the funny thing. Like,
Oh.
these were actual commercials, and they get so dark. Like, there's one, the blob one's sitting in an electric chair.
Oh.
And he's strapped up and everything, and he goes, any last words before you die? Or maybe you want a cup of Wilkins coffee? And he goes, no, I don't like Wilkins coffee. And it cuts to the Kermit one at the switch, and he goes, how shocking. And pulls the switch.
Oh, wow.
And they're so funny
Oh.
because, you know, they're puppets, but they're so dark. It's like seeing Kermit the Frog, you know, murder
Right.
someone. So, but they're all in black and white, which adds to the vibe of them. And I think they were made probably in like the 50s or the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of them to watch, and you can pick up and leave off wherever you want. You could skip through it. And they're all over the place. They're really funny to watch. Wilkins coffee commercials.
Interesting. I didn't
Highly
know.
recommend them.
So they are actually like commercials?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Interesting.
And like I said, Wilkins coffee is still around today. And as far as I know, you can still see some of the original puppets used for those in like museums and stuff. Because like I said, the one looks like Kermit the Frog before he was Kermit the Frog. So look at Wilkins coffee commercials. Well worth the watch just to see,
Okay.
you know, the history what Jim Henson did before he was a Muppeteer.
Interesting. Okay. So my number 2, right? We're on number 2. This is number 2? Yeah, this is number 2.
Number 2.
My number 2. It's called Sorta Clean Vines I Can Show the Children.
Oh, these are great compilations.
And I said Chiren, it's CHIREN.
Mhm.
It's by Abigail Lin Wong.
Wow.
Okay, that's the username. Pretty much if you type that in, it should be like the first thing on the
Yeah.
top. It's got 5.3 million views 2 years ago. 2 years ago, dang. It seems like it'll be a lot of... Anyway, this is a Vine compilation, but it
Oh, yeah,
contains some of my
classic.
favorite Vines, okay?
Oh, yeah.
And my favorite Vine, have I ever told you my favorite Vine?
I don't think you have. I don't think I've ever told you mine.
Okay, so my favorite Vine, we really need to actually... Actually, that might be a conversation for another time because it's
Yeah.
already 5:18, 3:18. But it pretty much contains some of my favorite Vines. They have this one. Okay, fine, I'll say it. So, do you know the 991 on the microwave
Yeah.
about the weed? Well, in this one, there's a parody of it
Mhm.
where the guy's like, it's like, Alyssa, is that the weed? No, wait, is that the police? I'm calling the weed. And
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like a
I've seen
reverse.
that one.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that. Those are like my 2 favorite Vines right
Oh,
there.
yeah, those
Just
ones are-
back to back. Love it. Anyway, but there's a lot of other good ones in there. So, yeah, sort of clean Vines I Can Show my children. Abigail Lin Wong.
So, my number 1. This is a weird one,
Okay.
but it's one I could watch many times. It's the channel that has the YouTube videos on it. Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared.
Don't hug me. I'm
Now,
scared.
it sounds weird, but what they are is, I don't remember when I was introduced to this, but they are essentially little short videos, and they put them all together, I'm sure.
Oh, these.
Yeah, and they are like parodies of children's programming, but each one has like a dark undertone and a weird, freaky undertone. So you watch them, and they all kind of
Yeah.
coherently go together into a story. And they're fun to watch just because, you know, it looks
Are
like
they,
you're...
though?
They are. Have you watched them?
I've seen like one or two.
They're worth the watch the full way through because near the end they get really freaky. They've got earworm music. If you don't know what earworm is, it gets really, it's easy to get caught in your head. And some of the parts are really fun. And there's like a story behind it that's fun to figure out if you're familiar with like Game Theory's channel.
Yeah.
He does videos about it and they're really fun to watch and to figure out the story. And they're creative too. And yeah, I think they're really fun to watch at least once through if you're into that kind of thing. And if you're not, at least once through anyways. Maybe get freaked out by something you don't expect to get freaked out by. They're unexpected. How about that? They're an unexpected piece of media. I like them personally. I need to rewatch them again. Supposedly there was going to be a sequel series, and I was really excited about it because the teaser came out.
Right.
And I got really pumped, and now it's been like 3 years and no more news. So really bummed out about that. So yeah, Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. Worth a watch through at least once, but if you're easily scared and you get nightmares, maybe don't, because some of them actually get really freaky.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw two. It was the Time one.
Yeah, the Time one's good.
And I think the first one, I don't remember. But anyways, I think it was like 15 when I watched them. I was like,
watch them again.
I might want to watch them again though, because like I've seen like more horror things and like FNAF, which seems to be more that type of line. So maybe I'll be more into it now, but like not as a
I just like the
15-year-old,
subtle
not.
creepiness underneath the normal layer that looks like children's programming.
I don't mind like creepy undertones. It's just when it goes way out, when it turns into complete creep horror fest. I don't like that
horror that is not jump scare, like thriller / creepy implication, if you will.
Okay,
that's where I like my horror, and that's why I like these.
Maybe we should give a review of these.
We should.
On a separate channel.
Not
a channel, sorry, episode.
Yeah, that'd be great.
It's not a bad idea. Be to kind of revisit these. Okay, so was that your number one?
Yeah, that was my number one. My
number one, and this video is criminally underviewed.
Oh boy.
Criminally.
Maybe I've seen it. Maybe not.
Maybe. So it's 25 more Christian pickup lines by Blimey Cow.
Dude, Blimey Cow is amazing.
Blimey Cow are they still putting stuff out?
I have not seen. Well, I don't really look them up anymore.
Okay.
But I remember watching those, and some of them were a bit like not cringy, but yeah, I would say cringy.
Yeah.
But some of them are actually really accurate.
Cringy, relatable, funny, humorous, whatever. Basically, they're a bunch of homeschoolers that make this channel. But 25 more Christian pickup lines, which in my opinion is better than 25 Christian pickup lines. It's a great video. Even if you're not a Christian, you can still get laugh at these horrendously bad pickup lines. You're not going to get many of the references, depending on how much you know about the Bible, but they're still hilarious.
It's a funny way. It's funny Christian content that isn't making fun of Christianity itself.
It's, oh my gosh. There's so many. Did I write down? No, I didn't write down any of the pickup lines.
That's because they have to go look them up themselves.
You should go look it up. Well, I wanted to give them like a taste of it. Let me give you a quick taste.
While you're looking it up, I will say, please keep in mind, these are not the end-all, be-all list of our favorite YouTube videos.
Oh, yeah, I try to stay away from, meme viral ones.
Yeah.
These are, ones I feel like more people should see, and, yeah. Of course,
but do look them up, because
the Pecan one I really wanted to throw on here, but that one everyone knows at this point. The Pecan Yahoo Answers. Pregnant.
Yeah,
I love that
one's
one,
great.
But everyone knows that one, so I didn't feel like it needed to be on.
And most of these were humorous videos because, what's better than humor? There are some serious channels that are good out there. I like a good cooking video. I could watch several cooking videos, but, if you look up the videos we suggested, you'll have a good time,
Right. Did you know that there are 4 kinds of love in the Bible?
So,
hold on. Are your eyes the wilderness? Because I could get lost in them.
How is it even a Christian pickup line?
Because of the Israelite being in the wilderness for 40 years.
Get it.
That's not the best one, but there you go. That's one.
I was reading the book of Numbers and I realized I don't have yours. That's a classic.
That's a classic.
Come on.
Anyways, that one it's criminally unwatched. It's got 100,000 isn't nothing to spit at. But it should be so much compared to how many Christians are in the world.
Yeah.
Compared to how many views this channel has, it should be a lot. Sorry, this video has. It should be a lot more. Go check this one out.
Check it out.
Definitely go check it out. All right, so that's top 5 in the hide. Now it's time for quenching our appetite. Which Shaner has again this week.
Yeah.
I've been kind of losing it with this one. I'm gonna have one next week.
We switch it up.
Yeah, I have one next week though. So go hit us, Shaner.
All right, what were we talking about this week? Is I think something that was popular for a while, early in the 2000s. It kind of faded out, and I think needs to be brought back.
Britney Spears.
No, no. Especially during this time when you can't really get out and go to movies or stuff. What can you do to make sure you're not bored besides play video games? Maybe because video games are fun, but eventually you kind of get bored.
MTV.
No, you in music right now. No, what I'm talking about is there are several apps about geocaching. Now, are you
That's
familiar?
still going on.
I haven't heard much about it. I remember it being a big thing for a while. Like my family did it for a while, and I feel like nobody talks about it anymore. I just saw one guy talking about it.
Is geocaching with the rocks, or is that something else?
No, okay, so you can use rocks, but what it is basically is like modern day treasure hunting is what I described.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Okay.
So there are several apps you can download on the App Store, on any app store, I'm sure. I don't use the Google Play Store, but I'm sure there are 1,000,001 geocaching apps, and you can look up for paid versions, free versions. And what it is you download the app and you put it into your phone, and then you tell them where you are. And if you're lucky and you live in a location where people do it, you can go out and find little treasures. Now, it'll give you like GPS coordinates. So when my family did it, we ended up in the Mason-Dixon Park on the Mason-Dixon line. And it gives you coordinates, and your phone will tell you what coordinates you're at. And it'll give you a little compass. You bring a compass along with you. And it'll tell you, you have to go north 34 steps. So you go north 34 steps.
Okay.
Then you go west 8 steps. So it'll lead you on like a treasure hunt, basically.
Okay.
And you get to the end, and whoever's done it will usually leave a little prize. And there's a hint as to what that prize could be at the end.
Right.
And it's not always something you can take. Sometimes it's just something you experience. Like we once found, we were in that park. I think we hiked way out into the woods. And in the stump of a tree, in a little hole, we found like a little plastic horse.
Huh.
With like a note with it. So you can maybe sign the note and you leave it for the next person to find. And it's a little community of people. And sometimes people will leave a box full of like little trinkets and toys. You can take one. And you go to the dollar store, you buy like, I don't know, 20 things. It's $20. You put it in a box and you leave it hidden somewhere. Sometimes it's on the side of the road. Sometimes it's in the middle of a park. Sometimes it can be in the woods. And it's kind of a fun idea. You get out there, and it's kind of a sense of accomplishment if you've done it right. Now, sometimes it can be a bit finicky, like your GPS may screw up, or someone may have taken the prize because they are selfish.
Yeah.
And like taken the plastic horse, if you will, with them whenever they left. But most of the time, people are kind about it and they leave it, and you can kind of post about it. Maybe the original person will see it. And you can do this with literally anything. You could set up your own if you wanted. So you'd go on there and you put in the instructions and you tell them where to start. And so I could go set one up on Waynesburg campus, and maybe I could hide like, I don't know, a Yellow Jacket sticker.
Right.
I don't know, in the middle of JC. So you'd start from up here by Thayer Hall, and you'd go west 30 steps, north 80 steps. And depending on your steps, it can be a bit different, but generally you get that same idea. And your phone can maybe even track how far you've gone. So there are several different geocaching apps. The one my family used, I believe, was free, because we enjoyed doing it, and it gave us, especially right now during COVID time.
Right.
It'd be really fun to do, maybe take a little drive somewhere, get your family together and experience it. And, because like I said, it's a satisfaction thing. You get to the end and you get a little prize, and it makes you feel like, yeah, I found that based on these instructions. And it's like a little treasure hunt. And what kid or heck, what adult doesn't like a good treasure hunt? I like them. Maybe we should do one sometime.
Maybe that'd be a cool experience. Let's take a camera with us. We can film it for the show.
Yeah, geocaching with the boys.
With the boys.
Yeah. So it's kind of a shorter episode of the week, which is why it's okay. We kind of went over.
So what are some of the apps called?
So literally, you can go onto the apps. I will go onto the App Store right now. I'll show you how easy this is.
Hold on. The radio levels are like really high for. Sorry, the audio is really high for radio. Hold on. I'm sorry, radio listeners. Let me talk to me, Shaner.
La 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 la. Radio listeners, if you're actually out there listening to us, thank you so much.
Yeah, shout out to our radio listeners.
If you're getting your eardrums blown out, you're at least listening to us.
Okay, there we go. We're good now. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry. Continue.
Okay, so it's really simple. I went onto the App Store to show you how easy this could be. I went on the App Store, typed in geocaching.
Yeah.
And there's just an app called Geocaching. That one's free. There's Cachly. That one's $5. Adventure Lab, Geocaching 1, Geocaches, Let's Roam Scavenger Hunt, GeoFind, Location Tracker, Commander, and there's Compass apps too that kind of go along with that. Geocaching Toolkit. That one seems kind of, So, Yeah, and there's like a bunch. Some are probably better than others, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, if Steve in his basement, on his iPhone app builds a geocaching app, might not be as good as someone who's actually who's actually a developer and knows what they're doing. So, but there's 1,000,001 apps you can find. Like I said, some are good, some aren't. But it looks like the top one on your list, 5 stars. It's free.
Okay.
Geocaching.
It's a good idea. We should do that sometime.
Yeah, we should. And you can find, like, even around here, somewhere as small as Greene County, I would say. We're not as big as if you were doing this maybe in, like, a state park or something. But we found at least, I think, 4 or 5 just around Greene County.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, so for how small we are, it's pretty good. And it's a pretty fun time. Like I said, and it doesn't cost you anything to, maybe gas money to get there. But, yeah. Sometimes you can find cool stuff to take. Sometimes you just find something to take a picture of. Post about it.
Nice.
It's a good time. Geocaching. Go download a geocaching app, get out there, geocache. And if you find something that you've taken our advice about geocaching, tag us in it.
Yeah.
Post
let
it.
us know.
And be like, hey, 2 dudes on the radio, we went geocaching, we found this.
That'd be pretty cool. We'd
Yeah,
like
we'll
to
share
see
it.
that.
And we'll share it as long as, it's appropriate.
Well, right, yeah.
We will most likely share it.
Barring certain circumstances.
Like the geocaching find is like a dead animal, maybe not, but...
That was okay, fine. Whatever, okay. You good?
Yep,
You got it?
geocaching.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
Thank you.
So, our next segment, which, by the way, before we get into our segment, I almost forgot, is Student of the
I was going
Week.
to say, where's the student of the week?
I kind of forgot.
That's okay. We all forget things,
Yeah, just a bit. Okay, so, our Student of the Week is William Yoakum.
William Yoakum.
William Yoakum.
Good job, William.
You know what you did.
You're a bro.
You done did it, kid.
You did it. Good job.
I say kid, but he's probably like my age.
It's fair.
It's fair. Whatever.
We're all kids. Jesus said, be like children. So.
That is true. Be like
Boom.
wee small babes and children.
Boom.
Bam. All right. Our next segment, the history of. Some of you might have seen this, some of you might not have, but Yahoo Answers is closing down.
No.
You didn't see this?
No.
Yeah. They announced, I think it was Tuesday? It was either Tuesday or Wednesday that they're closing down.
No.
Mhm.
What?
Shutting down indefinitely. I think the official day is May 4th.
That's ridiculous.
So I figured, let's go back and look at Yahoo Answers, okay?
Yeah.
Now,
Yahoo
it's kind of hard immediately to look for stuff on this because internet stuff isn't really well documented, especially like in its heyday during the 2000s.
Right.
So it was kind of hard to find some things about it. So this is going to be more like a memory lane as opposed to like history. But I found some things here.
That's what I
and
do with the
there.
April Fool's. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
Like I said, it's shutting down May 4th,
Mm-hmm.
which some people found some coincidences with some of the dates that they posted, okay? So, first of all, April 20th is when you're not allowed to post anything on there at all. Like they're not
Really?
taking any more questions at all, okay?
Wow.
April 20th, however, is 420.
No.
Yeah?
Shocker.
So then the shutdown of the website entirely, May 4th, is apparently when a live show of podcast My Brother and Me aired. Apparently it's a very infamous show. Okay, so for My Brother and Me, they pretty much base their show on Yahoo Answers and like stupid questions that they give. All right. Apparently they did this infamous show on May 4th, ever years ago in Detroit, and it was like the Star Wars theme. I don't know. Apparently it's infamous. I really couldn't get more out of it because I had to pay for the episode. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, right.
So apparently that's a noble thing. If you know what it is, good for you. So why is this closing down?
Yeah, why is it?
Well, they sent out an email to users. I think it was like Tuesday or Wednesday whenever this announcement came out. But they basically said, well, to better provide resources, to provide better products for our customers, we're going to allocate our resources elsewhere. Pretty much that's what they said. So why they are doing this, there's 3 different theories going around.
Hit us.
1, money.
Of course. Yeah.
Yahoo money wasn't giving us money. 2, apparently Yahoo Answers is owned by Verizon, who's botched up a lot of these types of websites in the past. Tumblr, there was another example I found, I didn't write it down. So they've messed this sort of thing up before, and they might want to close it down because, again, it's not producing money, or they
Yeah,
just don't
it's
want to
just
deal with
kind of
it anymore.
there.
To be fair, like Reddit Quora, I think it's called
Quora or what? Yeah,
Quora, how do
I
you
think it's
pronounce
pronounced Quora.
Quora, yeah.
I guess. Don't quote me on
They've
that.
kind of taken over Yahoo. So Yahoo's pretty absolute, but you still get
Yeah.
the cool
I
questions.
use Yahoo Answers.
quote unquote
occasionally.
cool answers from them.
Yeah, I use it because I just type in a random question on the internet and it still brings it up. I still think it's a resource.
You still use it as a resource.
Well, not
really.
directly. Like, I don't search out Yahoo Answers.
Right.
But, like, if I have a technical question, there's, like, banks and banks of answers that have already been answered that it just pops up in there. So,
Interesting.
do I seek out Yahoo Answers? No. But do I find it eventually? Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. It's not a bad idea. Anyways, the third, and if I were to bet, this is probably the most likely answer,
Mhm.
is because it's become a home of conservative conspiracy theories.
Ah, yes.
Okay. And so I popped onto Yahoo Answers when I found out like this was happening, just to kind of see, oh, what are people posting?
Right.
This was the question on the very, very top.
Oh, boy.
It's like not even the most recent, just like the top
Yeah.
one. I don't know how the algorithms like determine that,
Uh-oh.
but here's the question:
I'm-
Why can't B people see that COVID-19 is helping us? To get rid of the infirmed, the sickly, and unwanted.
Wow.
Yeah,
What a ride.
yeah, that's a right of question,
Okay, well.
and I read that word for word. So that's exactly how that question was worded. So yeah, I think that pretty
I'm
much.
starting to see it.
That's probably the main reason as to why they're closing this
Yeah.
down.
Wow. That was
Yeah.
time. Ooh.
Yeah, just a little spice there of the conspiracy theories.
Man, that was something. I wasn't prepared for that.
So those are the three rumors floating around the internet.
Yeah, I can believe those.
So let's take it back though. Let's take it back down Journey Lane. Journey Lane. That's not it. Journey Lane. Is it Journey Lane? It's not. Journey
Sure,
Lane.
this is Journey Lane.
What is it? Memory Lane. That's it.
I don't
Memory
know,
Lane.
Journey Lane.
Shut up. Okay. Memory Lane. Let's go down Memory Lane, folks. Yahoo Answers was for. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention. Between like April 20th and I think May 4th, you can actually like download answers off of like.
So you can
Yahoo.
save your work.
So you can save your work and like still look up questions. You can't post anything. So, anyways, Yahoo Answers was first published in June 28th, 2005.
Really?
Yep.
It's
it's
not
that
that,
old.
that recent. I mean, that recent. It was like almost 16
That's
years ago. But I mean,
after YouTube? No, because YouTube's 2006 or 4.
oh, I don't know.
It's either anyway. That's around YouTube came around. So that's when they first found it. And to be honest, like as soon as they came out, it was kind of a bit of a hit because like mid 2000s was like its heyday.
Yeah.
Like amazing answers.
Most of the stuff we know is.
They launched an
2000s.
app in December 8th, 2016. So pretty recent. Well, okay, 5 years ago. That isn't that recent, but yeah. And then it's kind of waned because of Reddit and Quora. But let's go down memory lane, shall we? The reasons why Yahoo Answers will go down to internet history.
Yeah. There's some
First of all,
fun ones.
there's a channel out there. I don't remember the name. I'm very sorry. Actually, I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna be a good researcher and look
Is
up.
it called Journey Lane?
You know what? I don't have to put up with this.
Actually, you do.
I can
What are you
stop
gonna do,
this show
leave?
right now, Shane. It'll be the
Go
one
ahead.
dude on the radio.
Bring it on. I'll make
Anyways.
my own show.
JT Sex Kick.
Wow.
I'm gonna assume that's how you pronounce it. That's the channel name.
We are fun with YouTube names today.
But it's How is Prangent Formed?
Oh, that's such a great video.
Such a great video.
It's a classic.
Here's another one, Curse of the Ouija Board.
Oh, yeah, the Ouija board is even better.
Have you played the Luigi
The
board?
That's my favorite one is the Luigi
Oh,
board.
that's such a good one. Oh, so good. So,
Because he reads them phonetically, like exactly how they're worded.
so
and that's what makes it
amazing.
good.
so amazing. Pretty much the most. I think that's the most popular like Yahoo Answers.
Oh yeah,
YouTube.
those two are like classic.
Oh, so good. Anyways, that and like I know my brother and I, they're famous for doing Yahoo Answers. So those are good ones. Go check it out. Here's some other questions that I saw on the internet that
Oh,
people
boy.
like loved. What animal is Sonic the Hedgehog?
A rat.
Smoke coming from my belly button.
What? Seek a doctor. Seek an exorcist. Wow, what?
And I'm reading these word for word, guys. Like I'm not
That's
like
scary.
word for word. Why is everything at my grandma's house moist?
Oh, that's awful.
What does a hug feel like?
It's so sad.
And last one, how is baby formed?
Oh boy. Get ready to lose some innocence.
Yeah, and that is why Yahoo Answers will go down in infamy. So great. Maybe
What
we
does
should do a whole episode with Yahoo
What
Answers.
does a hug feel like? There's so much sadness in that
I
question.
know.
What does
So
love
good.
feel like? Why am I alone? What does a hug feel like? I would love to know, but
Oh,
no one
gosh.
gives me one.
We should download a bunch of like Yahoo questions and then do a whole episode on
Yes, just
it after
answer
it's
them.
Closed.
Like, quick
No.
answer. Yeah, no, we should answer them.
Answer them.
Yeah, like, well, or at least talk about them.
Okay, fair enough. Well, it'll be in a talk. We'll talk about it later. All right.
Eddie, what does a hug feel like?
It's like me not being your roommate.
What? That is, wait, sad, lonely, depressing? What?
There you go.
That's what a hug feels like? Betrayal? Is that what a hug feels like?
I gave you a
Backstabbing?
Yahoo answer. What did you want?
Backstabbing? Is that what a hug feels like now? Breaking news, Eddie thinks hugs feel like backstabbing. Feel like leaving for someone else.
Okay, next segment. Oh, but before the next segment, possible sponsor.
Possible sponsor. Are you ready? So, usually I try to look up a funny thing, but this week I'd look up something that pertains to what we're doing.
Okay.
So we've talked about before, creating this audio special thing. We've talked about here and there. And what do you need if you're going to do an audio drama production?
Mm-hmm.
You need sound effects.
You do need sound effects.
Like, you could do an audiobook. That's why I hate audiobooks. I don't need one guy reading while there's no sound effects. And so that's why our sponsor this week is Soundstripe. Sound
I've heard
effects
of these
add
guys,
depth to every story, regardless of medium, podcast, films, vlogs. All need sound effects. Find the right sonic components for your project with a library of 40,000 sounds.
It's a
So
lot of sound.
Soundstripe. Now I'm imagining it says C pricing, and these things can be pretty, pricey.
Right.
So Soundstripe, sponsor us, and we will use your sound effects in any audio production. We can even put them on the air if we
Mhm.
wanted,
We could.
and we will shout you out, and we'll make your intro really dramatic. We'll be like, sound effects provided by Soundstripe. Like, hit us up. We'll get
We
some
could-
more business going.
we could have an audio board. We could use it for
Yeah.
a possible B movies show, which we're thinking about, folks.
Yeah, so Soundstripe, we're an
Yeah.
audio company. We could really use some sound effects, and you could probably use some more promotion. You can never have too much
You could.
promotion.
Wow. That's
I don't think you have too much.
that's
Soundstripe-
incorrect. But okay, we'll
Soundstripe,
go
hit
with
us
it.
up, sponsor us, hit us up with some sound effects. You don't have to give us all 40,000. That's fine.
We don't need 40,000.
But we could use some
We'll
sound
take
effects.
like 6.
If anyone out there knows anyone that works at
Preferably
Soundstripe somehow, hit them up. Tell them to look us up. We could get this
Yeah.
done.
It'd be pretty
Soundstripe,
awesome.
we want to be sponsored by you. We want those sound effects.
If you don't, I'm probably just going to go to YouTube Studio and use
Yeah.
sound effects from that. So
I mean,
like,
there's some good ones on there, but it'd be so much easier if you just sponsored
so
us.
much easier. So
Make our lives easier, Soundstripe.
good sponsor. Very relevant.
Thank you.
On to, they're called B movies for a reason.
Oh boy.
This one wasn't too bad. This
It-
definitely was a higher budget.
This falls into its own
B-movie.
genre. There's a whole genre
Really?
of film. Yeah, I consider this to be part of not its own separate genre, but another genre of B movies.
Wow, what do you mean by that?
So let's first talk about what movie this is, and then I'll explain.
Sure.
The movie we watched is the obviously not blatant ripoff of a popular product
No.
called Transmorphers. If you can't guess, it is capitalizing on the success of Transformers, which, fun fact, also released its live-action movie in 2007, same as this movie. It's not even trying to be a ripoff of Transformers. It is, but what it's trying to do is capitalize on its success.
On the
It's
name,
trying, I
yeah.
think, to also... I say prey, but that sounds like such a mean word, but prey on the elderly who don't know any better, whose sons are like, Mom, or Grandma, I want a Transformers movie. And they go, Transmorphers.
There
Same
you
thing.
go.
It's got robots. Here you go. And they buy it. So what I mean
I
by
didn't even
this,
think about that.
okay, so yeah, what I mean by its own separate genre is there are a couple of movies that fall into this category, such as there are a lot of parody films. Atlantic Rim, if you can't guess, a parody of Pacific Rim, the robot fighting movie.
Right.
Any of the even not Sharknado necessarily, but Sharktopus versus Terracuda, all this stuff, and even Airplane versus Volcano.
We've
I
never
put
watched
into this.
Sharknado. Now that I think about it, we've never watched that.
Remember we talked about this. We're steering away from those kind of B movies.
Yeah, but Sharknado's like a classic.
It is, but I think we agree in the beginning. I think we're trying to stay away. At least when I look
Yeah.
for movies, I try to steer away from shark movies because they're.
I mean, true.
I think
yeah.
shark monster movies are again their own category,
True.
but they fall
Okay.
under this subheading of CGI monsters that you can only put in the film for 5 minutes.
Right. Okay.
So that's why I consider these movies. That's a long title, but if you watch the movie like Atlantic Rim, you go
Yeah.
in there expecting to see the robots, but you realize it's a B movie with a budget the size of like a green pea. So they can only show the robots for 2 to 3, second segments
Yeah.
over the course of the movie. But it tries to focus too much on the human drama. It draws you in with the promise of a robot fight,
Hmm.
but then says, here, have some humans because our budget can only afford 8 seconds of CGI.
I don't-
This movie did better than I thought it was going to be. It showed more of the robots than I thought it
I
would,
was gonna say I showed a decent amount of robots,
but it tried to focus more on the humans.
yeah.
So even Airplane versus Volcano, I feel like falls into that category of we
Does
tried
it?
too hard to put CGI into our movie.
That's like just heavy CGI though. That's not because like Airplane versus Volcano. What that's that parodying or taking
It's not even a
advantage
parody.
of? There's nothing.
It's not even a parody. Just I consider that to be in that category of we had too much CGI that we didn't know necessarily. We put too much CGI into it because we had the ability to use CGI. Maybe that's a better term.
I
We
don't
had
know if that'd be a
limited
genre, but okay.
we wanted to chuck it in.
Okay,
I'll show
I
you some
guess.
other movies sometime that kind of. Anyways, so let's talk about this decent mess. That's what I would describe as a decent mess.
I think Decent Mess is a bit harsh on it, but okay.
You want to do the basic plot? Or do you
Sure,
want to do
I
the
got
basic
it.
plot?
So-
Cool.
Basically, so like I said, this movie is made in 2007. The setting, I don't even know when the setting. It's like futuristic, apocalyptic.
It doesn't
pretty
even
much.
say.
So basically, humans reached out to a human race with
To
a message
alien
of
race,
freedom.
not human race.
Sorry, what?
They reached out to an alien race, not the human race.
Did I? The human race reached out to an alien
Yeah,
race
there you
with
go.
a message of peace and friendship.
Yeah.
Years later, however, robots attacked the Earth and took it all over and killed most of the people,
Yeah.
and the humans had to go underground to survive. And so now they're living underground trying to survive. But they might have a way to get rid of all the robots on the surface through scientific means. So that's pretty much what the movie's about.
That's
Is
it.
the humans sorry, I blanked.
Fighting
Using
the robots.
finding the robots, trying to get them off the Earth because they have they have a plan to get them off.
plan. Yeah, a plan.
A plan.
And part of their plan involves, it's not a spoiler, it's the plot, involves bringing back some criminals they've locked up who were some of their best fighters to fight these robots because the regular soldiers
But they weren't
just
criminals.
aren't
They were
doing it.
traitors.
That makes them criminals.
Well, I mean, yeah, but be
Political
specific.
criminals.
Traitors.
That's fair, yeah.
Traitors.
Revolutionaries.
There you
Good
go.
word, yeah.
Good
So
word.
bringing back some of the revolutionaries they put into cryo sleep because every time in this, a futuristic movie when there's a criminal, it's either laser prison or cryo sleep.
Yep.
So they awaken these few out of cryo sleep, and of course they're the cool guys that just know what they're doing. And actually, I didn't hate their characters.
Mitch Warren, who's the main character of
Yeah.
the movie, and his sidekick Itchy.
And I kind of liked it. Kind of worked. The sound,
Why was his name Itchy?
I don't know, but it kind of worked. I kind of liked it.
Yeah, it was okay.
It felt right, So that's it. This movie is not, I don't say surface level, but there's not much. There's not much more to the plot. They fight the robots, and
There's heroes.
yeah, there's
People die.
robots. The robots shoot lasers. They've got advanced weaponry that pokes a major plot hole in this film.
Yeah, they say, "Oh, weapons don't affect it," but then they pull out these plasma rifles.
Yeah, and they're
blast
just-
them in one shot. Like,
yeah,
it's okay.
sometimes they take 2 or 3 shots, and sometimes they're down in 1. It made no sense.
Yeah,
They've got throwable frisbees that act as nuclear bombs, basically, and they use them 2 or 3 times. Like, just launch those things. Stay underground, launch the nuclear frisbees. Like,
I
it's not a
mean-
hard concept.
yeah, and like,
It's not like, you
not
know,
very good setup to show how tough the robots are.
it's not like, you know, in a modern day war, like, look at the Iraq war. It's like, yeah, we have missiles, but if we use them, there's consequences. There's no consequences.
Yeah, the Earth's
to
already
nuking the
ruined
robots.
already.
Yeah. The Earth sucks. Just nuke the robots. It's not like you're worrying about a human component. You're not going to murder civilians. All the civilians are underground, deep underground. They need a shuttle just to get to the surface.
Yeah, so just blow up the surface. Just do it.
Yeah, just restart.
This movie is like a Terminator / Matrix movie versus Transformers. Bad Transformers. What did you think about the robots, Shaner? What did you think about these
Their
villains?
design was generic,
Yep.
yet decent enough. It didn't look weird. It looked fine enough to me. It didn't feel like they just took a Transformer and, like, it felt like their own thing, but also
Yeah.
generic. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It somehow felt unique and generic at the same time.
Well, because they all looked the same.
Yeah,
there
it's
wasn't
like an
anything. Yeah, it was just a generic army. They all looked the same for the
and
most
the
part.
the transmorphing aspect.
They could just like blend into the.
Yeah, they turned into pieces of rubble
Yeah.
or like big blocks of stuff, and occasionally they would turn the top half of their bodies into a tank that would shoot a giant cannon.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could have called this movie literally anything else. You can tell they just called this to capitalize on the Transformers hype in 2007.
Yeah, pretty much. How about you? Let's get into characters. So, like, let's talk about the characters and character development in this show. In this movie.
Development.
Yeah.
Sure. Call it that.
Oh boy. Probably the worst aspect of the entire film.
Yeah, the acting.
The
It's
acting and
just-
just character development's awful.
Overacting like you've never seen. Like, I think
Yeah.
even Attack of the Killer Donuts had better acting than this.
Yeah,
And
I
that
would
is
say
saying a lot.
Yeah, I would say
There was
that.
one character, I'm going to look up her name. It doesn't really matter, but I want to be specific. And her character was kind of like I think she was a captain. I don't remember. Yeah, she was a captain. Captain Lux, Xandra Lux. And her acting, it just, every time I watched it, it was overacting to the max. This is literally what she'd talk about. She'd be like, "We are going to the surface, and if you don't like it, you can stay behind." It was like all like
It was way too much. He was
Oh.
trying way too hard to sound
cool and tough
serious. Yeah.
and like commanding, but it didn't work. And
I'm going to jump in, sorry.
yeah, no, go ahead,
So-
please.
Another thing is most of these characters had really obvious tics that were overemphasized.
Yeah.
So, for instance, what you're saying about the one girl trying to be like tough and sound really
Mhm.
cool. There's this other character who, I don't know if you noticed this, but when she's on the surface, she's like just panting all the time. It looks like she's gonna have a seizure. Is the blonde girl?
There were a
And
lot of
she's
blonde
just-
girls.
and she's
in this
just
film.
standing.
They
So
were
you're
all
right.
blonde.
No, you're right. The one captain. Anyways, she's like standing. She's not even firing the gun. She's like talking to the radio, and she's just and she's like
Yeah.
panicking. It's like, okay, calm, jeez, like
Ugh.
calm down. There's another one. There's one character who likes to have their mouth open. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I don't
They
even
just
know.
have their mouth open all the time. It's like, oh, okay. And then, the one scientist, he would say a lot. And you can tell he was purposely
you mean
saying
the one they took to
the bald guy.
Yeah, he was weird.
Yeah. I would have
Uh,
liked him if his acting actually was, like, serious.
The only people I didn't mind their acting were Mitchell and Itchy. I didn't mind them.
Even
seemed-
then,
They seemed like stereotypes of tough guys who just know what they're doing, but
yeah.
they had cool enough like accents and stuff that was fun to listen to.
Yeah.
Itchy was a bit annoying here and there,
Mitch
but
Warren was British. Another random
Yeah.
British guy for no reason.
I liked Mitch.
He was
could wa-
okay.
maybe he'll be in the sequel.
There's a sequel. You're
Yeah,
right.
Transmorphers Fall of Man, which
Let's not watch that.
no.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I'd say they're the best two characters, but that's not saying much.
So in terms of acting, let's also talk about the you can't see my air quotes from here, but please know
hold
I'm
on,
doing
before
major
we
air quotes.
continue, I have some one more thing.
Oh
to
wait,
say
hit
about
me
the character.
hit me with it.
There's a lot of like hero complex
Yeah.
In this movie, everyone wants to be here. Like, I'm gonna go save them. No, you can't. You can't go alone.
Don't
or
tell
I
me
should
what
go
to
instead
do.
of you. Don't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
They had to be saved. Everyone, all for one and one for all in
Yeah.
that story. It was so bad.
They just needed to get their stuff together.
Yeah.
So are we good to go
Sorry,
to the
yeah,
next point?
continue.
Yeah, you're fine. Okay, so the quote choreography, the fight choreography in this
Yeah.
was so awful. I don't even know what to say about it. You could tell they tried to choreograph it, but it was so slow it felt fake. And obviously they're not really fighting, I know that.
Yeah.
But I mean, look at movies today, even like some of the bad B movies we watch, like Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter had choreography and it was cheesy and ridiculous, but it
was
felt
at least it was funny to watch.
yeah, at least it was fun to watch.
And they
this
showed
was
it.
just
Yeah, so it was just bad choreography. They did a lot of cuts that like cut out like
Yeah.
impact moments a lot of
didn't
time.
need to be cut.
Yeah, it took out a lot of the action, or like kind of like we were saying about like cutting out moments of like less CGI.
Yeah.
It was obvious and it looked bad.
Yeah, so what else to talk about with this mess?
So let's talk about graphics in the CGI, because for 2007 it
Yeah.
wasn't actually bad.
I want to give it, like, when you look at it from, I would say even in 2007, if you looked at it, it wasn't great, but I will give them credit
It wasn't
for
bad.
what they did.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible.
So for being a B movie, I will give them credit for what they were able to do.
Mhm.
Like, they didn't just show one robot, that was a threat. They had a whole army, and it
Yeah, they
looked
showed a whole army.
okay. For what it was decent enough. Yeah, the effects weren't too bad. The underground city looked cool enough.
Yeah, it looked cool. I actually like the aesthetic
Yeah.
and like the background. I think they did a good job of that. The outfits all look the same.
That's what I wanted to talk about, but we'll
Yeah.
get there.
Yeah, they all look the same. They're like all black leather. You want to hop into it.
Yeah, so my problem with this movie, and the reason I was struggling to rate it, is because they had an opportunity here to build a universe, even with just subtle things like the looks of the buildings,
Yeah.
the looks of their clothing, the looks of the ships, everything. They had the chance to build their own little universe, and they decided to go with every generic post-apocalyptic film ever. Like Road Wars, when we watched that,
Yeah.
everything felt unique. It didn't just feel like everyone's wearing brown leather.
Well,
I would say it did. That, like, the villains that showed up, they looked the same, but they were supposed to look the same because they're minions, and they had a separate look from the two guys in the beginning.
oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
So everyone looked distinct. With this, half the time, they all looked the same. I mean, obviously their faces were different,
Right.
but everyone's wearing like black leather jackets. And not
Even
even
then,
fun
like
jackets.
they had kind of similar haircuts.
Yeah.
Like it was like this whole militia feel.
You had an opportunity, and it feels like they didn't take it. The jets they had in the end felt very generic. If you're gonna use CGI jets, at least give us something interesting. Put like little decals on them or something. Like
That's
show
Money
us
Shader.
show us them being unique. Give us some personality and not
Yeah.
just bland post-apocalyptic hero complex. If you have the chance to build a universe, build it. Humans are creative.
Yeah, they did kind of blow the opportunity. I
Yeah,
would say
so that's why I'm struggling with where to rate this film, because it wasn't bad. I want to say it wasn't bad to watch
I
necessarily.
mean, we can talk about a lot of bad things about it. And
Yeah,
like,
but-
despite how bad it was, there were some good aspects. Like I said, like there was
Yeah.
some decent CGI. They didn't spare any expense. I mean,
I didn't feel like I had to stop watching. Like Plane vs. Volcano,
Yeah,
I
it was-
did not want to see the ending. I could literally have not cared less about how it ended.
speaking of ending, what did you think about the ending of this movie? Because there's a lot going on. In
It
the
was
end.
ambiguous, in a sense, if you will.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. So, and then the actual ending right before the credits, it's fine. It made sense. It doesn't make sense in the fact that there's a sequel. I won't say more than that. But it felt like a decent wrap up, I suppose. Everyone gets what they kind of wanted. I thought it was okay. There was no or no wow. It was just
Yeah.
it ended. It ended like exactly like you think it's going to.
I
I
know.
think
It was a disappointing ending, to be honest.
it was
Like
it
they
was
showed
fair.
like, yeah, it was disappointing. Like they could have done so much more. Then it was just kind of like, okay, we done.
Yeah.
They beat the bad guys. We done.
Yep. They're at the end.
What did you think about the plot twist? There's a very significant plot twist that I won't go further into in case you do decide to watch this. But
Are you talking about? We won't say too much, but with Mitch.
with Mitch, yes.
I didn't fully understand it because at that point, I was trying to get through it. I thought it was. That's
what do you need to understand about? Okay,
kind of the
never mind.
ambiguity of it. It made sense, I would say, for his character.
See, I liked that they did it. It's illogical,
Right. Wow.
but it was interesting. And again, I'm gonna get into it why it's
Right.
illogical, but
I think they set up for it earlier in the film.
they did. They placed little
And
things.
so
here
it was
there.
a decent payoff, I guess.
I thought it was.
Yeah, it made sense, and that's where some of the ambiguity comes in, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it made sense, but like I think they did a good job building up to it.
Yeah.
I think that's more appropriate word.
So.
Yeah.
Well, shoot! It is 4:00. We have to rate
do
this.
you want to say anything else?
No.
There's not much more good to say about it. But
just
it's
kinda
better
there.
than what we're saying. It's weird to say it that way,
Yeah.
but it's better because like it's not a shot weird and like this world like it's
And-
pretty extensive. They put detail in it, and the
Shockingly, I
CGI
would
is
say
good
it's
enough.
it's appropriate. Like most B movies we watch, sometimes there's a lot of language. There wasn't a lot of language in this. I don't feel.
No,
like.
I guess you're right. There's some. Here
It's
and
one
there,
I
but
could
not a lot.
recommend.
Yeah.
Like besides the fact that it's not a great film, like not a great
Yeah.
looking film, I could recommend it to anyone really.
Mhm.
Um,
I wouldn't recommend it to everyone. But...
yeah. Let's rank this thing. This is where I'm.
Oh,
really
and they
having a
like
hard
kiss like twice.
time. Kissing.
So just you aware. Yeah. So you want to rank it, Shaner? We got 10
Okay,
movies.
best to worst.
Do you got the entire list? You sure you got it?
Let me make sure.
You should have 10.
6, 7, 9. Yep, got them all.
Okay, good. Go
Because
for
we
it.
were missing, Killer Sofa last
Yeah.
time.
Go for it.
I'm gonna go best to worst. Actually, I'll go worst to best.
Okay.
Planes versus Volcano, obviously on the bottom. This is where I'm struggling. I want to say Transmorphers, then Tar, but I'm not sure.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think.
I'm surprised you have it that low. to be
Yeah,
honest.
I mean, compared to everything else, I ranked this on how much I enjoyed watching it. So I'm gonna go with Planes versus Volcano. Actually, I'm gonna go Tar, then Transmorphers, Inhuman Witch, Zombies, Killer Sofa, Dolls, Orcs, Road Wars, and of course Dave Made a Maze on top.
Ooh. So now I'm reconsidering my list because of how low you have.
Yeah, it's just one of
Transmorphers.
those things. It wasn't a bad film, but compared to everything else, it's kind of like Attack of the Clones in the Star Wars trilogy. Was it a bad film? No, but compared to Revenge of the Sith, it doesn't exactly reach that height.
I like Clone Wars better.
I think we've had this debate before.
We've had this
We
conversation.
spent way too much time on that before, but hit us with your ranking.
All right. All right, I'm gonna say this list, and I just want to. I talked to Shannon about this, but I think Inhuman, which might be moving up in the list
Yeah, we did talk about that.
for reasons, because of its plain satiricalness. I think it might be higher, but for now, I think I'm gonna keep it where it is because I don't feel like rewatching it. I'm reconsidering.
You can do this.
Can I though?
I believe in you, kind of.
Is it better or worse than Zombies? That's my.
See, Zombies had that one part in it that I think makes it worth it. And
It's just one part though. Like,
yeah, but I don't know. I think you have to determine which one did you enjoy watching more. Like if somebody asked you, would you rather rewatch Zombies or Transmorphers? If you had to pick one. That's how I would rank situations like that. Like which one did you honestly enjoy watching? Even if you didn't like either of them, if you had to pick gun to your head,
if you like either of these, you have some issues.
yeah, so but if you had to pick gun to your head, pick one to watch, which one would you pick to rewatch? Just general enjoyment.
Okay.
That's how I would resolve issues.
Here we
like
go.
this.
I resolve them as in which one could I stand less.
That's fair.
All right, Airplane versus Volcano.
Obviously.
Inhuman Witch,
Mhm.
which to be honest might be higher. I don't
Let's
know.
just go with what we got for now.
Yeah, for Inhuman Witch, Zombies, Transmorphers, Road Wars, Tar, Sofa, Orcs, Dave Made a Maze Dolls.
Doll. I always forget Dolls is on top.
I know. It surprises me each time I get up there, but I think it's just the best movie that we've seen.
Well,
It's just a really good horror movie,
Yeah.
I think, for a B movie.
what an interesting episode. We learned a lot.
I learned a lot. I think Inhuman Witch, I don't know. I have to rewatch it.
Yeah. And I think I already know how to end this episode.
How do we end the episode, Shaner?
If you go back and you start at the beginning of all our episodes,
Yeah.
you can take a delightful stroll
No.
down Journey Lane. That's what we're gonna call all the episodes. Like, take a stroll down Journey Lane. Start with us, episode 1, season 1. Journey Lane. Take a stroll down Journey Lane today.
Oh, it hurts. I'm not even going to say goodbye.
You just did.
Too bad. I'm not saying it again.
Goodbye. We'll miss you, Journey Lane.